All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a phrase you have heard 1,000 times. You know the one. It gets used to shut down arguments, to demand acceptance, but what if the way we use it is all wrong?
Yup, there it is, Matthew 7:1. You've seen it on social media, you've heard it in debates, it's become the ultimate conversation stopper, right? It's this shield people throw up to deflect any kind of criticism.
So is that really it? Is this just a command to be morally silent, to never call anything out? Well, the surprising answer is a hard no. The real meaning is so much more nuanced and honestly, way more powerful than you might think. So let's get into it. To really understand this command, we have to do a little time traveling. We need to ask, what did the word judge actually mean to the people who first heard it? Okay, now this is fascinating. When you look at the original languages, you see a totally different picture. In Hebrew, the word shaphat is about governing, setting things right, bringing justice. And in Greek, the word krino means to separate, to discern, to decide between things. See the theme here? Neither of them just means to criticize. They're about a careful process of making things right. So the huge takeaway is that the word itself isn't the whole story. Its meaning completely changes based on two things: the context you're in, and, most importantly, the motive hidden in your heart.
And that brings us right to the absolute core of this whole thing, the massive difference between the kind of judging we're warned against and a totally different kind of evaluation, discernment, that we're actually encouraged to have.
This table just lays it out perfectly. Look at that first column, hypocritical judging. Where does it come from? Self-righteousness. What's its goal? To feel superior. And the outcome? Prohibited. But now look at discernment. It comes from understanding. Its goal is to tell good from evil. And guess what? It's encouraged. And then there's that third category, condemnation, which is basically declaring someone worthless. And the Bible's pretty clear that's a job for God and God alone.
So why? Why is that hypocritical kind of judgment so forbidden? Well, the text gives us a really vivid, almost shocking reason.
There's a reason we call it hypocritical. It's this weird kind of blindness where we put other people's tiny flaws under a microscope while we're completely ignoring our own giant ones. And to make sure we never ever forget this point, Jesus uses this absolutely unforgettable metaphor.
Seriously, a plank versus a speck. I mean, the image is almost comical, right? You can just picture it, but the message is dead serious. How on earth can you help someone with a little speck of dust in their eye when you've got a massive 2x4 sticking out of your own? But this isn't just a funny warning, it actually gives us a roadmap for what to do.
And look at the order here, it is so important. The first 3 steps are all about you. Acknowledge your stuff, work on your stuff, get your own vision clear. It's only after all of that self-correction that you're even in a position to gently help somebody else. The whole thing starts and ends with humility.
And this slide gets to the very heart of why we have these planks in our eyes to begin with. The thing is, our human judgment is just, well, it's flawed, it's limited, it's biased. We just don't see the whole picture. The text contrasts that with God's judgment, which is described as perfect because it's based on something we can never truly see, the heart.
But hold on, this doesn't mean we just throw our hands in the air and never evaluate anything. Not at all. Instead, the Bible calls us to pivot from the negative command, don't judge like a hypocrite, to a very positive one. And there it is, a direct command to judge, but with that huge critical qualifier, with right judgment. So of course, that begs the question, what does that kind of healthy, righteous judgment, that discernment, actually look like in real life? Well, here are the hallmarks. Think of it like a checklist. Is it guided by truth, not just what things look like on the surface? Is it motivated by love and humility? And this is the big one. Does it always start with checking your own heart first? The goal is always, always, always to restore and help, never to shame or tear down.
So when you put it all together, judge not isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's not a command for moral silence at all. It is a powerful, urgent call to check ourselves first. It's about getting our own vision fixed before we even think about trying to correct someone else's.
And so, this ancient teaching leaves us with a really modern and very personal challenge. In a world that is so quick to point fingers and condemn, how can we in our own lives practice the kind of discernment that actually builds people up instead of tearing them down? That's the question